Hey, I'm not Mark, but today I'm reviewing the Faces of the Franchise program in MLB The Show 22. Let's look at the program. We have the Faces of the Franchise program. We have 23 hours, 38 minutes, and 52 seconds left. This is the last day of the program. If you haven't finished your 600,000 XP by now, sorry. It's probably over by the time you're seeing this. I mean, I'm going to get this video uploaded tonight. There'll probably be about 20 hours left, I guess. But let's talk about how this program stacks up versus my expectations for how this program was going to go versus how MLB 21 did it way better than they did. All right, so this program encompassed 3 different ones from MLB The Show 21. If you played MLB The Show 21, you should have become accustomed to seeing team affinity, daily moments, and the first inning program as 3 unique things. They have smushed them all together in Faces of the Franchise. In some ways, is it better? No. I don't think this program is better than what MLB The Show 21 gave us at all for the first part of the content. Let's look through this real quick. So we did get some unlockables, so some stadium sounds and some banners and yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. We did get these Legends and Flashbacks packs, giving us 1 legend or a flashback player from every one of the 30 teams, a gold ranging from probably 80 with Cliff Lee, all the way up to guys like Alan Trammell and George Brett that got an 84. Those were all free, cool. And then we got a few packs here and there. That's my biggest, well, actually that's not my biggest gripe. We did get packs along the way, we did get some stubs along the way, but let's get to my absolute biggest gripe with this program. It's not that we didn't get all 30 legends, or all 30 Faces of the Franchise rather, where in MLB The Show 21, we got all 30 members of the 42 series that were associated with each major league team, just given to us for free. Here, we had 6 non-sellable, non-choice packs. And some people had better luck than others. Some people have really, really awful, unfortunate luck, and I'm really sorry for what happened to them along the way. Let's look at this real quick. The West program, great players. You know, Kyle Tucker, fan favorite. Mike Trout is probably the most popular player in the league. We got guys like Sean Murphy on an Oakland Athletics team that nobody cares about to watch. Okay, cool. Mitch Haniger, great hitter, very underrated hitter. Corey Seager, probably the most balanced card of anybody in the whole entire program. But these first packs, these first 6 packs, you don't need me to show you these guys. You've already seen all these guys before. These first 6 packs, 1 from each division, you got a random one, and it was locked in. You couldn't do anything with it. And then after that, in reverse order, you got one that you could choose which one you wanted, and you could then sell. So through the program, you're getting 12 of these 30 cards. Is that my problem? No. My problem is do it the other way around, where you get to pick, and that's now locked into your binder, and the next one, you get a random one that you can sell, or maybe the first one, it's a random one that you can sell, and the next one you pick, and they're locked in. I would have vastly preferred that. That makes that an easier pill to swallow. But going through this program, as you can see here, there's not a ton of these show packs. So there's 1 there. There's 3 there. There's 3 more there. So we're up to all of 7 now. There's 10. There's 15 now here. And now we're at 20. So you get 20 packs, 20 regular old standard packs through getting through the Faces of the Franchise program. It's ended with a Big Dog Set 1 pack, which I don't care about the 600 XP mark being the 600,000, XP path, giving you the top reward. I just don't understand why we now have also moved away from a live series diamond at the end. That would have been a much preferable thing to see. Heck, you even get... Oh, there's 2 headliner packs. Ooh, 2 shots of that Spencer Torkelson card. The amount of packs is such a huge loss from last year. Team Affinity, per division, gave you like 16 or something like that Team Affinity packs, 3 or 4 Ballin' as a Habit packs. You got all 5 of the 42 series players, or all 5 of the Team Affinity cards per division. You got all of that stuff given to you. So much stuff. And that's a huge pill to swallow to not have anymore. Heck, even the daily moments. The daily moments are still here. You log in, you play your moment, you get 1,000 XP. Cool. In MLB The Show 21, we had the evolution cards. So you got 2 cards that were low tier players, either bronzes or silvers, for collections. You got to then evolve them into 2 diamonds for your collection as well. And there was the player in the path as well. Now, not all of those players were good. Early, the Roberto Alomar card was fantastic. He was a lot of people's second baseman for a long time. The Gary Sheffield card was kind of mid. The Zach Britton card was viable almost until the end of the game cycle. And then after that, they kind of fell off. You know, the McCutcheon card was fine. The Jim Thome card was not as good as his earlier card. The Reggie Jackson card was fine. I don't know how many people actually stuck through to get him. I didn't, actually. But there were packs. There were stubs. There was stuff along the way. And to take one thing away, it's they took 3 programs that were individual, that were unique, that all rewarded you for your play, and they put them all together into one that didn't reward you nearly as well as the 3 of them did. And it's not even like this is bigger and better and more rewarding than the first inning program. Like, marginally so, because you got 12 bosses instead of 1, right? I'm not gonna give them that pass. I'm really not. This is very disappointing. And I have to say, I'm not hopeful for how the rest of the content comes out throughout the game. I wasn't a huge online player and grinder, so it did take me a long time to get through the first inning program and the Team Affinity Season 1. It took me a while to do that last year. I'm not upset that I flew through this. I think I finished this with like 18 days left, maybe even more. I'm not upset about that. I'm just bummed that the amount of like you got like 75 to 100 packs between Team Affinity and Daily Moments just taken from you. Imagine if you had 100 packs, like 20 of them being Ballin' as a Habit packs that you could just rip right now. How much nicer would your stub count look? How much nicer would your team look? I don't know. I'm cautious about the next couple of programs because they made it seem like they're going to be smaller and shorter, and that way you're technically getting the same amount of reward, I guess. Jesus. I don't know. We'll see what MLB The Show 22 has to offer moving forward. Looking back at last year, though, this program's such an L. How can they redeem it? How can they redeem this long term? Give us a collection where later, after you've given us a few more packs of these faces of the franchise players, because I'm sure we'll see some packs of them in the future. Give us a collection. Give us. I don't even know who would make a great face of a franchise. A lot of people talking about Derek Jeter, and I'd like to think if Derek Jeter was going to be in this game, he'd already be in this game. But imagine if they drop him later in the year, like, oh, by the way, guess who we got? We got Derek Jeter, and he's now the collection. Collect all 30 faces of the franchise players, and you get 99. Milestone, 3,000 hits, Derek Jeter. That would be a redemption for at least that series of cards. But the series of cards doesn't need to redeem itself. Those cards are fantastic, and you're going to have to pry faces of the franchise Cedric Mullins out of my cold, lifeless, dead hands. But as far as the rest of the program goes, It's an L. This whole thing felt like the first inning with a couple more diamonds in it, without the real benefit of having those other reward paths that uniquely rewarded you. I don't know. I'm worried when we go into this collections tab, when they finally drop a true Legends and Flashbacks collection, that it's going to be damn near impossible to get. I mean, yeah, we got a whole bunch of cards for these, like the Veteran and All-Star and Breakout series. Yeah, there was a bunch of those that were available for free through the program. Great. But, I mean, that's how Team Affinity was last year. Team Affinity 1 last year gave us 60 cards. 60! Come on. Because they gave us those Legends and Flashbacks cards through Team Affinity 1. Not those specific ones, but similar. They then gave us 30 diamonds as well. Instead of getting 60, we got 42. It's an L. It's an L. We'll see what the next program looks like on Friday, which is tomorrow if you're watching this video when it goes up. They've already shown off David Justice and Zach Britton as being rewards, both 93 overall. They've teased another one that seems to have been debunked as Tom Seaver, but we have no clue about the other two. We have no clue about the structure of the program. I would assume there's going to be a conquest. I would assume there's going to be a showdown. I'd assume there's going to be some other content with it as well. Is there going to be a new mini season then too? When does mini seasons reset? Does it say? May 2nd. So this is gonna reset on Monday. So it's not with the Faces of the Franchise program, but this will get reset along with the ranked season. But yeah, I mean, I can't really complain so much. I mean, I got like 32,500 stubs in my bank right now, and I have a pretty solid team made up of a mix of these Faces of the Franchise players and some live series cards that I've either pulled or have had a chance to purchase along the way. So, like, I've got a pretty solid lineup. Like I said, you're going to have to pry Cedric Mullins out of my cold, lifeless hands. I'm hitting 384, 35 home runs. He was my second parallel 5. My first parallel 5 was this Logan Webb card. This guy, those stats don't really paint the right picture because he's been awesome. He's been dependable as heck for me. Jacob deGrom, those stats are about right. He's kind of mid right now too, but that's aside from the point. We're talking about the Faces of the Franchise. It's allowed me to get to this team no money spent, so I can't be so upset. But at the same time, I really feel like they took 3 excellent things and turned it into one very mediocre thing. So I'm skeptical about what it's going to look like moving forward, but I'm willing to stick it out and to see what comes next. And that's really what I kind of want you guys to feel like too. Just because we know what this was, we don't know what the next one's going to be. Because we all thought that Topps Now was probably going to be taken out when they started supercharging players and whatnot. But they then, and the other programs, hey, there's monthly awards of Topps Now cards. So you never know. Things can change. They can take feedback from what we've been giving them, and they can reinstitute stuff. We're not going to see Team Affinity brought back, I don't think. But I'm curious to see how we're going to get some of those higher end cards. Like, think about some of the gems we got through Team Affinity last year. Like the 99 Mickey Mantle and Frank Thomas and those guys, Hannes Wagner that way, and all of those in Team Affinity 4. Team Affinity 5 with the finest. What's the finest cards going to look like? Are we going to have to choose 12 out of 30 finest cards? I don't know. I also have a sneaking suspicion that because we're going to get 2 out of the 5 bosses throughout the program, I have a feeling they're going to go back to this unfortunate way, and we're going to see a boss pack probably around 250K in and around this vicinity. That's a lot like these, where it's random and not sellable, and then another one with the 5 bosses where we get to pick which one and then sell them, which, in my opinion, again, would be a loss. Make me pick one and keep him, and then give me a random one that I can sell. That would soften the blow. Beyond that, there was everything else that you would expect from an inning program just sitting here. There were the conquest maps. Boom. I didn't do the central one. I'm not going to. There were the showdowns for the AL and the NL, which was nice. There were, exchanges, which I think if you're doing exchanges for this, you're doing it wrong. Don't waste your cards, because packs are precious. They're hard to come by this year. There were collections to complete. Cool. Like these Nike Connect programs were actually kind of fun. The jerseys are nice, and that's a nice way to make a player program a little bit more interesting, I guess. But yeah, I've said it probably about a half dozen times so far in the course of this. I think this program was an L. And I hope that they do better with Spring Cleanup, which launches tomorrow. All right. Thank you for watching. If you saw this, come find me on Twitch. Just, go on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/InsideTheMark. I stream most weekdays around 3:30. You can catch me maybe all day on a weekend, depending on what my schedule's looking like as well. But yeah, we have some fun there. I'm an affiliate over there, so I'm not about to start streaming over here. That's where you'll see a lot of this content get made in the future. Come and support. I'd love to have you over there. Till next time, see you later.